And the reason why I decided to live stream this is because we don't even have a name.
No name.
No name.
No
and
name.
So I figured, you know, we could talk to you guys. And I'm sorry it's sideways. I'm sorry. I just kind of felt that it would be better to fit both Eric and I.
But at the same time, should I record?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are recording now.
Hi, this is Luke, and
I'm Eric Nakamura.
I'm Luke Chu, and we are here at the Giant Robot Studios to record this yet unnamed podcast.
Unnamed podcast, no name.
No name.
Yeah.
I'm also live streaming this on my Instagram.
Yep. Instagram at what is it?
Luke
Instagram
Chu.
Luke Chu.
Yep. And I want.
Oh, it's also being live streamed on YouTube at the Giant Robot Magazine YouTube
Sweet.
page. So
Yes.
yeah, it is being live streamed right now. But I think the audio would be just okay because we're using the mic to record audio, but we are using just live audio for you guys. So you're not hearing the best sound, but it won't be super bad.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But so we need a name for the show. Hey Kano, how's it going? Yeah. So if you
Kano is awesome. Kano would call the Jew and the Lotus podcast.
Yeah.
He would call that the Hater podcast. Because he would go, dude, I like your Hater podcast. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. It's like a compliment I was like, yeah, okay. But I love him because...
Thanks, Renee.
Awesome.
Renee's stoked that we are...
Who's Renee?
Renee French.
No way.
Yeah, she's
awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome.
She's awesome.
She's actually in...
She has no voice right now, just so you know.
Oh, really?
She lost her voice from, just had a cold or something.
I'm sorry to hear that, Renee.
But she's okay.
But... we are taking suggestions for show names. So if you guys have any ideas, like I was throwing around some idea name show titles.
Wait,
like,
the Chew and the Lotus? That one?
that was yours. And
sorry.
it's
the Supreme Beings.
we started off with the Supreme Beings.
The Supreme Beings. What does that mean? It was trying to go past religion in a way, but...
Well, it's now like fallen into the realm of like douchebag, fashion.
Yeah, but that's because of the word supreme. But I mean, a supreme being is like, that's like Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen or something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought, going with supreme beings was pretty good, but at the same time...
I know, it's not for me. Yeah, I don't want that one. I just thought it was funny for a minute.
For a while, I was thinking of like something like banana splits, because we're like Asian American,
right?
Bananas.
Can you explain what a banana is in Asian American land?
All right, so it's pretty simple. It's all about that yellow on the outside, white on the inside, kind of,
Which is kind of an insult, isn't it?
Oh, it's definitely an insult.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. I mean, like I never found it insult.
Oh, I always thought it was insult.
But I'm cool with it.
All right.
Then I came up with some predictable names like Artsploitation or something like that. But then I kind of realized, we're not going to just talk about art all the time.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, that's another thing. We need your help for. Oh, we got a lot. We got a yes for banana splits.
Banana splits. Who said yes?
Ryokovich von fan page.
Who's that?
Royalkovich.fan
page?
Fan page.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for checking in. And if anyone can suggest anything, again, we need your help. I'm not particularly good at naming things.
Me neither.
Like my characters, like my quote unquote bear character and rabbit, they don't have names. They're just, things.
But they're you.
They are they are me.
Yeah.
But they're not Luke. They're just me.
Oh, well, you are Luke.
I am Luke.
Okay then. All right.
But Artsploitation, all my names are on this phone, and if I switched apps, okay.
Are there any other suggestions?
Right. Banana Splits wrote 2-ton Tessie. There was a punk tribute to that.
Who's that?
Unrelated. That's
okay.
my friend Tristan.
Oh.
Like Chew and Lotus. Kano likes Chew and the Lotus.
Come on, no.
Renee says Heaven in a Beanie.
Oh, that's me.
You know.
Oh. Renee, do you know Renee French is in Australia? Lives in Australia. Did you know that?
No.
So Renee French lives in Australia, and she said something really cool that I liked. Not just because you're watching, but she said that she likes how everything's noisy online, like social media and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's on the other side of the world, there's a point where we all go to sleep, and she gets silence on like all the social media shit just quiets down.
Wait. Renee French is in Australia?
Yeah. Or New Zealand. Australia. Yeah. Australia.
Isn't she like from Southern California?
No, she was from the Bay Area or San Jose-ish.
Okay.
And then, but I think moved to Australia. However, I just know that I like the idea of basically us fucking Americans are noisy online.
Oh yeah.
And we're taking a lot of bandwidth, and then shit gets quiet at a point, and then people in other countries actually enjoy the fact that we shut the fuck up at some point. Well, that's kind of cool.
I'm sure it's freaking noisy during her time, but it's all in Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese.
But she probably doesn't follow anybody.
Right.
So, you know, all the artists and stuff are all like bitching, going, me, look at my art, right?
Right.
And then, it gets quiet. It sounds kind of cool. Because I would like a point where it just gets quiet, but
I just turn off
never
my
does.
phone. I just do this, and freaking, you know, then I
just fucked it all up.
Oh shit! Oh.
Anyway,
sorry guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see.
Any more titles? Did anything come up?
Other names? Nothing so far. So I guess I kind of feel like we need to get this name thing like squared away before we kind of move on.
Anybody?
Please?
Anybody? Titles? I'm kind of bad with names too. Like,
yeah.
And it's a kind of a commitment.
Well, like Giant Robot was great, you know? I mean, like, you know, I was trying to, like, I was talking to a friend last night about it, and, like, you know, the way I kind of interpreted it, and maybe I'm reading too far into it, was this idea that, like, you know, the super robot culture or the giant robot culture of Japan is one of the few things that really kind of infiltrated, you know, Western society with like the coming of the, you know, Shogun Warrior, / Giant Machinder, you know, toys. You know, it was something that we as Asian Americans grew up with, you know, something like that.
Yeah, you're doing good. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check it out.
Yes.
Pulling it right out.
Yes.
Pulling it right out.
No. Did you just get up? You just got up out of the seat and pulled like fucking shit out
And
of your
gestured
ass.
I was pulling shit out of my ass.
Way to go.
Yes, you know. But you know, I mean, like, what about Giant Robot? Like, where did you come up with that name?
It was basically. Did you ever see Voyage into Space?
I might have.
Voyage into Space was the kid with the watch robot thing, and he would be able to control the robot through his watch. You know, like he would say giant robot, and he would say fight or whatever it was.
Right, like Gigantor or Tetsujin 28.
But he would control it with a watch, and then when he'd control it with a watch, the robot was under his command.
Sure.
Right, but then basically spoiler, at the end, the robot fucking disobeys him and flies into a meteor or something like that.
To save the planet.
He carries a bad guy, and they fly into a meteor, and he blows up and dies. But he defies orders at the very end. Like, the robot gets a conscience and decides to do the right thing.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
And so you decided to start your entire,
in a way that's where it really comes from. So the idea was, kid with the watch who could talk to his robot, the magazine, right? The magazine's a big thing that goes all around the world, and here we are just in a room able to like write the articles and control that shit. Until it went out of control, which it did, and then you doomed it by being on the last issue's cover. Right? Luke Chu killed the issue.
I did kill Giant Robot magazine. Yeah. It's something that I feel terrible about, and I do.
You don't, but anyway. So,
I do.
But that's but that's the idea that the magazine.
Earlier I was telling Eric Nakamura that, like, you know, growing up in shithole Fresno, you know, and being like, you know, this, you know, lonely, isolated, and disgruntled, Asian American kid, Giant Robot Magazine. I found solace in Giant Robot Magazine. It kind of, opened my eyes to realize that not every Asian American kid was, straight A's and practicing. It was in the tennis club and practicing violin for a fucking hour and, all that other fucking shit that I hated my family, friends, kids for. So, thank you.
I played tennis, just so you know. I was okay. I was pretty good. So there you go.
Anyways, I think I've done enough live streaming for now. It's kind of hard for me to dedicate too much attention to the live stream and the conversation at the same time. So I'm going to kind of cut it off right now. But
so we still don't have a title though.
We don't. But please PM me or PM Giant Robot. Some whatchamacallit, name ideas for us. And if you get chosen,
what happens?
I will do a sketch for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Will you fondle their nuts too? I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that.
No, but I'll fondle your boobs.
Oh, okay. There you go. See? Wow.
Yeah, I know.
We are just as childish.
Yes, a rare opportunity.
Let's do this. But no, seriously, we don't have a title. Mm-hmm. We have no idea what's going to. What's the stupid ones? We should go back to those.
We should, Supreme Beings.
Luke and Eric show.
Luke and Eric show.
It's like,
yeah, it's just not like.
There was a bear and the robot or something.
Yeah, I was thinking what was the Robo Bear wrestling?
What? Okay.
I think it'd be imagine you see a robot bear, and it is in a wrestling onesie, in a ring,
right. Yeah, that's okay. The visual just kind of ruined that one.
Sorry. Anyways, but thank you so much for checking it. Reboot.
What's Reboot? Oh, name of the show.
Name, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yes, giant bears. No.
Yeah, I guess that's one part that's hard. Giant bears. That sucks. Giant bears. Sorry, friend, whoever that was. I don't know.
Bento Pop. Barely coherent. 2 bears, 1 robot.
No, getting somewhere though. Whoever that was.
Robot Candy Mountain.
Robot Candy Mountain.
That's pretty fucking good. Renee French pulling that one up. Nice.
Robot Candy. Can you get us 10 more choices? That one's kind of getting somewhere.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, if I was in a band, that would be a name of my band. But I don't know about this podcast, but that's the name of a band.
That is a band name.
Robot Candy Mountain.
Yeah. But anyways.
Wow, I like it.
That's with Eric and Luke.
Okay. Robot Candy Mountain.
Yeah.
I like candy, that's why.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big, candy person. So
yeah. Is that why you have a black tooth?
It's because I'm missing a tooth.
Oh, okay. I thought it was black.
Oh, I wish it was black.
Okay.
Makes chewing a lot harder.
Right.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking in, and we will. And please check out the podcast.
Well, you can always see it. I think I'm streaming still on our YouTube, Giant Robot Magazine YouTube. Mm-hmm. I think it's still streaming. We've been streaming this whole time on there. So, and then I can't read. We can't read anything there. It's just. Yeah, it's just playing. Yeah, and we don't know what we're doing yet exactly.
No, this entire show is dedicated to us kind of figuring out what the hell we're going to do.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Thank you very much, guys.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
But we really still haven't started our podcast correctly.
No.
All right.
So,
oh my God, that picture is fucking gnarly.
Yeah, we are looking at Philip Kremer's artwork.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh, it's so gross.
Oh,
it's a nostril face.
Nostril face. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. It's the kind of shit that I like seeing on my fucking Instagram feed. Speaking of Instagram feeds, have you discovered the joy of the mute?
No. What is that?
Okay, so, people have, on the internet, you can be able to, if you can find out who's, unfollowing you and, be really angry at them because they aren't following you.
Oh.
Well, now there's
People do get bummed out.
There's a mute option.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, wait. I have my Instagram.
Yep.
It's chilling right here.
Yep. Now go to like an image that you find boring.
Wait, an image?
Yeah.
Okay, so
like if you're looking at something, you're like, I don't like this.
Okay.
What does this? Who is this person?
I like that one though. How do you pick? Oh, I don't want to see this.
Okay. Now so go to the upper right hand corner. Hit.
Oh shoot!
And then mute. Like you could choose the post
wow.
and the stories. And now
silence. And they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
Oh. But how do you know that when someone unfollows you? Are you like? How do you find out?
You can. I think there's a thing on the internet,
like an app or something.
Yeah.
Is it better not to know? Like, is that the best way to go?
I don't pay attention to these things.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's better off that you don't know that someone's following you or unfollowing you.
Right.
Because as an artist, doesn't that make you more like bummed out if somebody you really admire, like
right.
Mark Wrighton follows you? Oh, no, he doesn't. Right? And you're like,
yeah, right. No, absolutely. And like that's, or anyone who unfollows me would kind of bum me out.
Yeah, but what if you don't know them? You probably wouldn't care. You'll be like, 12349 at Gmail. That's the name of his Instagram thing, and he's obviously a bot.
Well, if I see like a ton of people unfollow me at once, then I would get really bummed. But the thing is that like it's like the reason I don't look at eBay, with my own name. Right. That's just kind of like begging for trouble.
Yeah. So, but that's also the same as kind of like wanting to know something that you're better off not knowing, right? It's like looking, if you have a significant other and you look through their cell phone, you might find something you just did not want to see. And it's your fucking fault that you saw it if you see it and you weren't supposed to do it in the first place. Right. Is it kind of the same thing? I mean, you're sort of like looking for who's unfollowing you. It's sort of like, it's just said, how can that help you?
Well, looking at eBay, right? Well, okay, no, like looking at because to a certain degree, like keeping track of social media and like who is following you or friends who are unfollowing you, like these things kind of like help you like figure out who's your quote unquote friend and who's not, and maybe it could also encourage you to improve your feed, like I need to post better content in order to be able to hold this this attention. Now, but the thing is that looking at your say girlfriend's like phone, well, there's nothing there about improving your relationship. Right. That's just straight fucking being creeper shit.
So do you think if you looked at a list of people who unfollowed you on Instagram recently, that would help you? Because what if you gain like 500, but then like the 20 that said, fuck you, Luke, I'm out of here. That doesn't help you. What good does that do?
No, it hurts me.
Yeah, don't look. Don't look.
Oh, I don't look.
Okay, don't look.
I don't look. I don't like I said. I don't look. I don't go to eBay. I don't look at like those weird things. I have no idea whether they how they work, but I'm sure they exist because you always hear about people complaining like, oh, blah blah blah, followed me.
So if we told people about like that, I use this unfollow app. Do you think less people would unfollow me? As a result, they'll go, Eric is going to find out, so I'm not going to unfollow.
Well, you have to come in assuming that they are
following you. You mean
that these people, that everybody you follow is using that app.
Oh, okay.
To whatchamacallit,
right?
To
know what's
to know what is going on,
right.
But. You can unfollow me if you want.
Okay. Okay. I don't really care. Okay. I don't know how we got into this unfollowing stuff.
Yeah. Now we go. We'll start, but okay. So, I'm a fan of the Jew and the Lotus. Format. I thought
there was no format.
Right. That's
okay, so we have no format.
I enjoyed the fact that you could be able to just you would talk about galleries that were closing.
Oh, there was shit talk though too.
Right.
Which is why you're here.
Oh, of course. I'm happy to offer and to dish.
Oh wow.
Because there's nothing more entertaining than to hear people talking mad trash about
Oh my goodness.
about other people.
No.
Though I will be very careful because I don't I don't want to be unfriended. Like not
Back to social media.
not in the social media sense, but by actual people. So I think it's smart for me to
Well, we'll lower your filter a little bit. We'll see what happens.
But I definitely have opinions.
Right.
You have opinions.
Sure.
So sure. We're entitled to our opinions.
Yep.
What's another thing is to make shit up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. We won't be doing that.
No. What's the point of making shit up?
Rule number 1: we won't make shit up.
No making shit up.
Rule number 1. Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Yeah.
Rule number 2.
Oh, shut the door if you're gonna take a shit at GR2, because
Well, I don't think you allow people to usually use the restroom.
No, not usually. But I'm talking about you. Just
right.
so you know,
well,
directed at you.
Well, we're only recording this episode here for
Yeah.
we don't know where it could be recorded.
Yeah, that's
next.
true. That's true.
So that's we'll just remember to always close the restroom door after you're done taking a deuce.
Oh wow.
Wow. It's an important. Be considerate. Of your friends and colleagues.
Oh, so one thing we were talking about earlier that it reminds me of was taking a deuce in jail.
Oh, okay, yes.
So
see,
I brought it up because the Long Duck Dong. We were talking about Long Duck Dong as one of the art pieces by Mike Choi. He has an art piece that has a Long Duck Dong in it.
Right. It's got 3 Asian people in there.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney, who's not Asian but is doing yellowface.
In Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Yeah. In the 60s, I guess. Yeah.
And then Bruce Lee.
70s. Yep.
And then I can't remember the actor's
Getty
name.
Watanabe.
Yeah.
A Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles, who
Yes.
played the ultimate buffoon, right?
Yes.
And we were talking about how that name, maybe we did mention how that name is less prevalent because a lot of young people don't know who Long Duck Dong is anymore.
No, they don't.
And maybe Asian Americans kind of have broken out of that Long Duck Dong mold. Like, we're not all Long Duck Dong anymore.
No, we're not.
Like in media, right? In media, that was he was the biggest star at one moment. Long Duck Dong was the most famous Asian character.
Oh, yeah.
Or Asian character in America, right?
Well, he was kind of like the bane of many Gen Xers' existences.
Yeah. So we're talking about a different generation. Back to that again. But yeah, Generation X, I guess.
Right.
I don't know what years that is, but...
But you were saying that you had an artist friend who was...
David Cho. I can tell you a story about this. David Cho, buddy David Cho, was... He got in trouble back when he was a college student. So I think that's about 1995 or 6 maybe.
Okay.
I'm going to guess somewhere around there. And he went to jail. And I think he was in jail for a few days or 2 or 3 days. I think he was stealing groceries or something what sounded kind of dumb. And he went to jail. And when he was in jail, he had to take a shit. At some point you have to take a shit, and or not. And then he decided to take a shit into I guess it's one big room with toilets or a toilet or toilet stalls.
So from my experience, it's usually just a bunch of steel toilets in a row.
Right, and no door.
And no doors, no walls.
So they could see you taking a shit.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone could just watch you shit.
Everyone could just sit there and gawk at you.
Right.
And,
So David didn't know that in that jail where he was at, you're supposed to flush the toilet as your shit drops into the water. Is there water in that toilet? I assume. Okay.
Yeah,
so you're supposed to flush, like a courtesy flush, just so it doesn't just linger and smell bad, right?
See, I didn't even know about this.
So evidently he didn't know to flush, so he took a shit, and the shit sat in the bowl, right? And then he probably wiped his ass and cut a few farts and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I guess the people in jail were making fun of him, saying, Long Duck Dong doesn't know how to take a shit. Because I guess there's a process in jail, and he didn't know. How are you supposed to know if you don't go to jail? But he was called Long Duck Dong even in jail.
Wow,
that's the story. Well, and that's in the mid '90s, I guess. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of weird rules and things. When the few times that I've had the experience of going to the county clink.
When was this?
This was in the 90s.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, and I remember I think it was like in Fresno County, like the dorms had like the.
Everyone's questioning right now, like why is that okay?
Drugs.
Okay.
Drugs.
Right.
In case
We just
you
thought you were doing a gang fight or something.
Oh no,
Okay.
I
Stealing
wasn't,
stuff.
I wasn't that cool.
You weren't stealing stuff. Okay.
I wasn't.
No, but drugs. Okay.
Drugs.
Going to jail for drugs.
I went to jail for drugs, and then they had like 2 floors, and every floor had like a tri-bunk kind of rack.
So 3
like,
bunks. How do you get to the
bunks.
top on that, by the way?
I think you have
Is
to
there a
place
ladder?
your foot. No, you have to place your foot onto the 2nd bunk to climb up to the 3rd bunk.
Wow. What if you have to take a piss in the middle of the night?
Then you hop down.
Wow, waking everybody up.
No, because it's concrete and steel. So
Okay.
But the thing is that like the the top floor. There's a bottom floor and a top floor, and the bottom floor was for all the Spanish speaking inmates, and the top floor was for the English speaking inmates. And you kind of had to work your way up to the top floor. Also, like in the bunks of the tri-bunks, like the top bunk was like the more like treasured spot. So everyone who was new would end up in the bottom bunk. Because, like the top bunk had the most room above, you could actually sit up, in the bed and do whatever.
Wait, how narrow are these? You can't sit up on the bottom bunk?
No, it's literally
like 2 feet or something?
like maybe 2.5 feet.
Fuck, that's
Yeah,
too narrow.
Yeah, they pack you in there.
All right.
So.
So wait, that means the top bunk might be 6 feet something high, like as tall as you are. That's the third. The third level is actually the top of your head, about that high.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a little taller.
That's
like 6.5 feet.
Wow. Still, that's really low for 3 levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're just packing people in. I mean, this is I grew up in Fresno, and so this was all happened in Fresno County.
Right.
But it's but in San Luis Obispo County, they give you cake for 3 meals. So.
What?
Yeah, they give you cake for every meal.
A piece of cake.
A piece of cake.
Okay. So wait, let's go back to the Long Duck Dong part.
Okay.
So where were the Asians in this jail? Because you said Latinos on the bottom, white people are basically, sounds like they're at the top.
On the top floor.
Who's in the middle?
And
you didn't even mention black people. Aren't there black people there?
Oh well, it's not even like white people and Latinos.
Oh, you said English speaking.
English speakers.
I thought, okay.
And if you're new, you start off because like the Latino, the Spanish speaking section was much bigger.
I see.
But and so they'd be playing Spanish television on the bottom floor, and you have to kind of make your way upstairs.
Wow. So you could you're like, fuck this. I do not want to listen to this.
Right. Well,
you can't understand it. So
I never
you
stuck
go,
around.
You're like, I want to go higher.
Right.
Okay.
The longest I ever stayed one of those things was for 3 days.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
Before.
Did you make it to the top bunk in 3 days?
Almost did.
The rapid ascent of Luke Chu in jail. Long Duck Dong almost gets to the top in 3 days.
Almost.
That's like a headline.
Yes, but I didn't get that lucky.
Okay.
So, but but fortunately I got lucky in the sense that they would release me on overcrowding or something like
Wow.
that.
So wait, what happened to the shit taking in jail when you were there?
Well, you see, the thing is that I never really was in a position where I never stuck around long enough where I had to take I didn't have regular BMs when I was then because I was like a mess. I was strung out and everything. So and opiates if they make you constipated. So you just be for a couple days just unable to do anything.
And you're in jail. That's even makes it worse. Yeah.
Well, and then you're kicking by the second day and seriously kicking and so
what's kicking?
That
called sweating.
Withdrawing
oh,
and your legs are twitching
wow.
because of the withdrawals.
And what do they do for you?
Nothing.
Nothing. They're not here's a Dramamine or what, I don't know, or something.
Nothing.
They don't do shit.
They don't,
wow.
They don't do shit.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Unless you're on some kind of medication already prescribed by a doctor, you could have people bring that medication to you to,
right.
And the staff will distribute it to you as as is prescribed.
Wow.
But when you're at that point, you're not taking drugs as they are prescribed.
Was anyone did anyone have the generosity to help you while you were in that position?
No.
No.
No,
So
well-
everyone just stayed away from you. They're like, this dude is in bad shape. We're staying away.
Well, I kept to myself,
Right.
but like, but the thing is that like I did like trade a couple sketches. This is before I became like full-time painter too. I traded sketches for soups.
Soups?
Soups.
What, a can of soup?
No, like they don't give you cans in jail. They give you freaking noodles, top ramen, the real currency, the real
Gotcha.
jailhouse currency.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So like I did trade sketches for soups.
Wow. What, like, were the sketches good, in your opinion? Like, were they just a bunch of bears with bloody hands?
No, this is way before I was
like,
doing bear stuff. So
there are people who are like, oh, it's a little Jew.
it was like the 90s. This is the 90s.
Right.
I didn't start my career in the art thing until like 2003.
But art helped you even in jail.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool.
It helped me out.
All right.
So. Like, I mean, I didn't do it regularly.
Right.
But
you were only there for what, 3 days, you said?
3 days, but like, I would go in and out, like,
In and out?
In and
How
out.
many times were you in jail?
About 6 times.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah. No. It was, well, I mean, like, so, that's.
Why would you get in trouble? Like, couldn't you just do this in the privacy in some like motel room where you wouldn't get in trouble? Like, how come you get in trouble?
You just
Like, when you're freaking out running around the street and you, like, one of those guys that you watch on YouTube videos, like you pull off your pants and
No.
you
I
do
never.
like a
I
GG
never.
Allen on
Okay,
somebody.
like. Okay.
How come
all
you're getting
right.
into
This
trouble?
is something I don't really. I rarely bring up, but
Sorry.
now I'm airing my fucking dirty laundry. Basically, like I got picked up, for shoplifting.
Okay.
But then
That's not a big deal.
And then they caught me with a controlled substance.
That's like minor.
Yeah.
That sounds minor.
And then like I never like finished the program, and I would avoid court dates because I was living in San Luis
my
Obispo
God. Oh
and
my
they were in
God.
Fresno,
I
and
see.
then like I got picked up in San Luis Obispo for a possession charge, and then I
Right.
got, and what, and.
But like, are you a cop magnet?
I kind of was when I was in San Luis Obispo.
Like, do they look at you and they're like, something's wrong, I'm going to go and talk to this guy?
No.
Or were you
Because,
like sitting there going,
because
"Dude, look at me."
I'm an unassuming Asian person.
I know, but maybe you were the assuming
My
Asian.
eyes are small because genetics. It's not because I'm high.
Okay. But 6 times is more than I thought. That's quite a lot.
Well, I mean, the last time I got picked up was in Los Angeles.
Right.
It was the day before I finally got clean, which was in 2010.
Right.
And the reason why I decided, like, that was the moment that broke me was because I knew that as soon as I showed up in LA's, like, system, it was going to be relentless.
Right. Yep.
I would be picked up over and over and over and over
I
again.
mean, they're seeking you out at that point, right?
Right, exactly.
God, it just seems like there's so much shit for them to do than to just bother you on this thing.
Well, what they could do is they could see me driving around, run my plates, and then see that I have this or that,
Gotcha.
and then and pull me over, and so it was the straw that broke.
It just
my
seems like
camel's
there's
back.
so much shit for them to do still beyond that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
of course.
yeah.
And the funny thing is, I've only been pulled over once
And there's dudes
since that happened.
stealing mail like every moment of in LA itself.
Oh my gosh.
They're stealing mail. They're doing all this shit, and it's like, no, we're just gonna pick on this guy. Wrong.
Well, okay. I mean, the stealing mail thing is so have you ever had? I mean, you've had stuff stolen from you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
To the
Yes.
point where you've reported it to the police.
Yes.
Right. And what happens?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
That's why they bust you when they should just be busting other people.
Well, it's because I truly believe maybe we should talk to Bob about it. We should have Bob on the show sometime.
You're the cop magnet. I think you're a magnet for police.
You're friends with Bob, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we should have Bob on the.
Bob the policeman.
Yes, we should have him on the show one time, just
Okay.
so we could talk. Because I love Bob.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that it's because it's low hanging fruit.
Oh.
You know?
Asian guy, he's not going to fight back. He's not even going to run.
Not
We're
only
gonna get
that,
this
but
guy.
it's just you don't even have to freaking look hard. You just I'm sure policemen are able to scan plates, and fucking oh, this guy's got a fucking warrant. Let's go pull him over.
Right,
you
right,
know. And funny thing is though is that I mean maybe it's because after I went through that, I lawyered up and I went to all the different counties that I had, open affairs in, and just
Wait,
like
multiple counties?
Yeah, Fresno County, San Luis Obispo County, and Los Angeles County.
Wow.
Those are the 3 counties that I had issues in, and was able to get all that shit wiped out
in one day.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Actually, I'll share other stories, as we move on into our, on our podcast. When we have Bob on, we could talk about all my legal affairs.
Okay.
It was, on top of that, I wanted to quit. I was tired of being strung out, and it's not fun.
Right.
Being in that position, and also I felt like my work was suffering and all this other stuff. So I was able to clean up my act on October 25th, 2010.
Congrats.
Thank you.
October 25th, right before Halloween.
Right before Halloween.
Right on.
I've not put any hardcore drugs in my system since then.
When did we interview you for Giant Robot? It must have been right
November.
It was right then, huh? Because I'm trying to remember. It seems like that was right around the time.
I was so fresh and sober at the time.
Awesome. We caught you at a good time.
Yeah. So
perfect.
That was I think the few times that we did interact was always happened to be times when I wasn't in a complete mess. Remember when I had my show at Black Market.
Actually, I don't remember.
Oh, you're killing me! I was so fucking honored that you were there.
And I hate to say I don't remember, but I actually don't remember.
Well, I did have a show. It was across from Black Market. It was a Black Market, Come on, hey, you know what? You gotta give Black Market, but at the time I was sober then.
I didn't know.
You
okay, so here we go. Are we talking truths now?
Yes.
So I was always scared of you because I thought you were on drugs. Just so you know. So you would come to the shows here at GR2, and I was always I would say hi and be polite, but I was always oh fuck, he's on drugs, and
I probably was.
Oh, well, that's why I was scared of you, and that's why I was always kind of stayed away.
If I was sweaty and just kind of pale and just a mess.
Actually, you were usually my memory of you coming here. You were always smiling and happy, smiling, and I was I think he's on drugs because he's too happy.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe you weren't then. I don't know. I don't know what people who are on drugs are always like, so I'm not sure. But I thought you were always smiling, and I was this guy is
things to
on,
look out
on one
for
of those
are twitchy, shifty eyes.
I thought you were into raves and shit. So I thought you were one of those.
Whoa!
I thought you were one of those smiley.
Raver.
I did think so. So I thought yes.
It's because of my teddy bear pants.
Didn't you have big pants? You wore big baggy pants, right?
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, you wore big. I thought I remember you wearing baggy pants, but
I did wear loose worker pants.
I remember shit like that, but I remember you were always smiling, and I figured you were one of those what's that desert thing that people go to?
Oh, you always thought I was a freaking Burning Man guy.
Yeah, like a drugged out Burning Man, smiling, happy,
wow.
Like that guy. So I was kind of always. I didn't know what drugs you were doing. I don't even know. So, but I did think you were on drugs, and I thought you were on something that made you smile too much.
Wow.
Yes.
My gosh.
There, the truth comes out.
Okay.
I don't think I ever told you that, but
no. This is news to me.
Yes. So this is what podcasts are for. It's to unveil. But yeah, I used to think that's what was going on. And I was always like, "Hey, how are you? Oh, nice to see you." And I'd be like, "Oh shit, he's smiling too much."
I was mostly on drugs. So I won't deny that.
Okay.
But
it was. But yeah, it's not.
I know I was always intimidated by you.
Oh, I was intimidated by you because you were on drugs.
And
I was scared. I was like, oh shit.
I was always intimidated by freaking, because Eric Nakamura, he brought so many freaking artists up, through GR2 and the magazine and everything like that, but and I'm sorry I killed it.
Probably the best thing. That's the best thing that could have happened at that moment. So there.
But okay, so let's go back to this name thing, right?
Oh, okay. Oh wait, okay. We're done with jails, shitting, long duck dong, drugs.
Drugs.
Okay. And we did get to the origin story of kind of how we started talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
I mean, like, and I didn't even like go full deep on that. Like, we could
me
save
neither.
all. Yeah, we could.
Me neither. But this is like, yeah, this is early though.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Right
We got a long road.
But this is an origin issue of a comic. If this was a comic, there's a little bit of origin.
Yeah, this is like issue 00.
Yeah.
You know, the prequel, not prequel, like prequel. Like prequel's like prequel just means like pre-sequel, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Like I always
want just before anything. So
okay, this is the
just
prequel
whatever.
of Robot Candy Mountain, RCM.
The Robot Candy Mountain sounds also like a ravey name.
It does.
You know, like we're gonna eat candy and we're gonna be like dancing around with Junko pants. You know what I'm saying? Like wearing beads. Like, don't they have beads?
Yeah.
Ravers with some kind of big beads on. And
no, you're thinking of Mardi Gras.
I'm thinking of Big Heroes. No, what's that game? Is it Big Hero 6? No, what's the game? It's like a raver-looking game with a person who wears headphones. And they look like they're on roller skates or something. And
it's like one of those DDR kind of
I don't know,
games,
but
right?
that's what Big Robot Mountain. What's it called? Candy Mountain.
Robo Candy Mountain.
The word candy just kind of turns it into like a weird,
yeah, it does. The candy is.
I think of Candy Raver or Candy's. What's it called?
A Candy Raver.
Candy Raver.
Yeah, like remember, like Yeah,
that's.
Did you ever go to raves when you were in the 90s?
I went to 1 or 2.
That's it.
Yeah.
You didn't you weren't into like the dance party, all night dance party scene?
No, because I'm not into like people like yourself with pacifiers in their mouth and stuff. I'm just like, dude, like pacifiers and jumping around, and it's not my vibe, dude.
Oh, you're killing me.
Did you ever wear a pacifier?
No, I've actually never wore a pacifier.
Or had a,
but
is it wearing? It's sucking on a pacifier.
I never sucked or wore a pacifier.
Why do they? Oh, is that a drug thing too? Like they're trying to
they're
chewing on the rubber thing.
Like you're on ecstasy and the chewing sensation is pleasurable. I guess I don't know. I rarely did ecstasy when I was in the 90s.
So that's what it is. I thought you were probably on ecstasy every time you came here.
No.
Okay.
I know. I was.
So what do I know? I don't know shit.
I always kind of felt like I wore a better smile than I did, a frown.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Which is like why when you see me in pictures, I'm always smiling because I always felt that it was more flattering on me than
no, I think of you as the big smile.
Right. But now that I'm missing this tooth right here, I need to find a dentist too.
Oh.
So. One of these days.
Okay, anyone who's a dentist, contact Luke.
Yes, please. Yeah, email me directly. I need to get about 4 or 5 teeth replaced.
Oh, would you trade for art?
Of course.
Okay, somebody who wants art who's a dentist, there you go.
Yes, contact me, lukechew@gmail. I don't know what I should say. Yeah, I mean,
lukechew@gmail.com. Send Luke money.
Yeah, so send me information. Send me your Yelp, a link to your Yelp.
Oh wait, you're being all picky now.
I have to be.
No way.
I have to be.
You don't get to be picky. You just got to get teeth. Who cares?
I want it to be a good job.
Okay, they'll do a good job.
I don't want to get dentures. I want to get little replacement teeth. You know what I mean? The artificial implants.
I got you.
Fucking dentures. That's
okay.
What if I'm trying to get a smooch out, and freaking my teeth just fall out.
But now you just got to pull your teeth out first.
That's just
I'm just kidding.
Okay, gross. So I can't imagine a girl fucking being down with that.
Maybe they are.
Maybe there are.
Right? No, they want to pull that out first.
Yeah. That that reminds me of. Do you remember when they were all talking about, oh, you want Gumma GI? From Vietnam, it was a Vietnam thing of grannies.
Actually, I don't know what that is.
Giving blowjobs without their teeth on.
What's it called?
Gummer.
Gummer.
You want a gummer?
But so you just said
you want a Gummer GI?
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's like a Vietnam War thing.
I thought it was an old lady saying that. It was what you were saying.
Yeah, it's an old lady saying that to.
Whoa!
You want Gumma?
Do you think that really happened?
I don't know. It was just one of those things that got passed around when I was in high.
Oh, I never heard of that.
In junior high.
So there were old ladies. Do you think
like prostitutes?
But old ladies. This sounds like a 70-year-old lady.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh no! Did that happen? Anybody out there know if that happened?
I don't know.
There's some fucked up shit. So who is that artist? Is it? Oh man, African American artist who does it's black imagery. African American art. Oh,
You mean
man.
Kai?
That name. What is
the
it?
guy who did the Obama.
No. That's Kahinde Wiley. It's a woman I'm thinking of.
Oh, the one who does the silhouettes?
Yes.
Yes. I know.
What's her name?
I don't remember her name, but her work's on display at the.
Kyra
I am
Walker? Something Walker, right?
Okay.
No?
I think I don't know if I'm following her. Let me see.
Kyla Rocker, or something like that.
I'm looking up African American contemporary.
What
artists.
really bugged me one time, and this is like what art can do, because
we need a production guy, by the way.
I saw her work. Yeah, I saw her work at the Hammer. Right?
Okay.
At the Hammer Museum, and so I was looking at it, going, okay, I get it. It's all cutouts, and it's like it was based on maybe slave or post-slavery period of art, right?
Yes.
Of imagery.
Yes.
God, I want to say it's Kyra Walker.
Kara Walker.
Kara Walker.
Kara Walker.
Oh man, so rad art, by the way. But
yeah, her art's awesome.
So she depicted like little kids, like a child holding a teddy bear or even holding a bottle, and they were like giving blowjobs to like the white. You know, I don't know if he's the slave owner or slave master guy. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was like, did that happen? Like I'm talking about kids. Like they must have been like under 5 years old, and that's her imagery had a lot of that. Like a little kid giving a blowjob to like
that shit still fucking happens, man.
but like a 5-year-old or 4-year-old or
haven't
whatever.
you heard of like sexcations or something like that?
But not 5-year-olds.
Dude, the Philippines, man.
They're like that's like 17 years old, right?
No, like
16. Fine.
There's 16. Probably but
not like a
who
5-year-old.
Who was that rich dude that fucking like flew the Clintons and all those other fuckers like around going on like
Where in the Philippines?
Like on like crazy sex vacations.
I have no idea.
Like she would get like preteen fucking like girls on the plane.
Wait,
and
who? Hillary Clinton?
No, but like, but apparently like one like what?
Who are we talking about? You
There's
said the Clintons, right?
Well, but what's his name?
Ferdinand Marcos?
No. Fuck.
Is it Philippines?
There was a rich dude who who was a notorious pedophile, and he had a plane that he would fly all these like big celebrity wealthy dudes like fucking Trump. Trump even made a comment about like how he liked girls
Soros?
No. Maybe,
Wait, that's a Democrat guy though, isn't it?
No, Soros is a Democrat guy. Yeah.
Yes, no, actually I'm sure, but just the fact that I saw that in art made me question it, and I've never forgotten it to this day. I'm just like, did that ever happen? Like, was that normal? I just couldn't believe it. And but that's the only time I've ever seen it. I've never, like you see it in a movie, but they're not that young. Like they're not 5 or 4 years old, And then when I saw that, I was just like, fuck. That bothered me. It still bothers me when I think about it.
I think it's not beyond
No, it probably isn't, but it never even. I never even considered it. Like I never thought that was even would be a thing. And then I saw that in the art, and I was like, fuck. And I bet you it was. That's fucked up.
Well, I mean, like even if you think about like what it was like back then, Africans were not even considered like real humans at the time. It's really like I'm glad I don't live at
I don't even know
John Podesta. No.
Oh wait, is he a Pizzagate guy?
He was the no, never mind. No. I'm just looking it up, and that was a name that came up, and I'm not sure if it was him, but
I'm unsure.
Yeah, maybe I'm sorry if I'm slandering you, Mr. Podesta.
But yeah, I just remember seeing that though. But yeah, that's just one of those things that I saw in art. But I mean, man, art's not supposed to do that, but I guess it is.
No, it is. It absolutely is, because
it's just like nightmarish almost.
It's a reminder of just it goes back to this idea does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? And
that's what I'm saying. Well, when you say that, then I'm like, oh yeah, that shit probably happened.
Right.
I'm sure there's reported cases of it, or oral histories or shit like that. And I'm
literally.
Just like, oh my god.
No.
But yeah. Anyways, it's just
human beings are freaking animals, man. We like to think that we have a soul and all this other crap, and a nice romantic notion.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're just freaking animals.
Yeah.
We just happen to have something in us that takes us to the next level. That has us contemplating ideas like art, like technology or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that if this society collapsed, like say zombie infestation or something like that, art, all the other crap would be out the freaking toilet because all we care about is survival.
Right. Yeah.
So which means when the zombie revolution happens, I will be out of a job.
You will. You will.
But I'll maybe well, this would not be a good place.
But that's like that.
Like,
but that's like that.
pull up.
Was it? It's almost. I mean, it's not even zombies. But what was the Bird Box? Did you watch that?
I have not watched it because
Okay.
I've seen a lot of negative reviews. How was
Yeah.
it? Is it good?
It's good for free.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you paid for it in a movie theater, maybe, no, maybe you wouldn't be as happy. It being, it's not free because you're paying for Netflix, but ultimately it feels like it's free because it's just free content and there's shitloads of it on there. But
Is it
was
episode?
okay.
Is it an episode?
No,
or is it a movie?
it's one movie.
Okay.
I didn't think it was awful. I thought it was okay, pretty good.
Okay.
I'd give it pretty good.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'd want to spend what is a movie, $12 or $14 on that?
Right.
Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe
right.
not. But I mean, but it being on Netflix and all that shit, yeah, sure, it was worth watching.
Okay. I'll put it on.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to I just started watching Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just started. I'm only 3 episodes in.
Oh my gosh.
Because I want to catch up so that once the last season is up, I can be there with everybody else.
That's in April.
I know.
Is it only 6 episodes?
Six
I think it's
seasons?
6. No, it's 6 2-hour episodes in this last season is what it is. I think.
Okay,
Or is it
the
8
last
2-hour?
season was only 7 episodes.
Oh no! I mean the episode that's coming up in April is the last. It's the end, right?
Right.
And it's only 6 episodes that are 2 hours each.
Whoa! So
I
it's the
believe that's what
equivalent
it is.
of 12 episodes.
I believe so.
Well, the thing is that I noticed that there's 7 seasons, right? And the first 6 are 10 episodes, and then there's season 7 is 7 episodes. So right now I have 64 episodes to watch of Game of Thrones.
What do you do while are you painting while you're watching?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm painting while I'm
Okay.
watching,
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm currently working on my upcoming solo show at.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's in Chicago. It's at Roto Fuji.
Roto Fuji.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you're going to be in Chicago on March 2nd, I'd be grateful
Roto
if
Fuji.
you came out.
Roto Fuji.
And support Roto Fuji.
But
they're a great store.
It's spelled F-U-G-I, correct?
Yes.
That would be Roto Fuji.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Fuji, I assumed it was like Mount Fuji, but I don't know.
Roto
Fuji is
Roto
what
is
Rotocast,
Rotocast,
yeah.
and Fuji is Mount Fuji.
I don't know, but it's Fugi, F-U-G-I, so I kind of wasn't, I was never sure.
See, I never really, I only know when it comes to, Japanese and Romanized Japanese is that you pronounced all the vowels.
Yeah.
Take
I
is
guess so.
take. Or,
But the G is not a vowel, right? So it's Fugi.
or
G-I?
Fugai.
Fugi. It would be Fugi.
Fugi.
Yeah. I never
Fugi.
knew.
So, okay,
but
Roto
maybe-
Fugi.
Yeah.
Okay, I can roll with that. I'll call it that from now
I
on.
guess. Yeah, I'm not
Whoa.
sure.
So it's a Sunday night here on Sawtell,
But
and
people are yelling and stuff
I
on
am
the street.
shocked how happening this place
Yeah,
is. Is
it's
tomorrow a
rocking.
holiday?
No, not that I know. Or is it? Is it I don't know.
You and I are people. We are the worst people to ask when it comes to
Yeah,
holidays.
I'm
and,
unsure.
That
I kind of don't think so.
have anything.
But tomorrow's supposed to rain.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
tomorrow? So according to my calendar of Google, it is coming of age day tomorrow.
In Japan,
I don't know what that means, but
are
it's,
you talking about Girls' Day, in Japan?
oh, it is. You know what? I'm looking at the calendar. It is holidays in Japan. It is coming of age day tomorrow, January 14th.
So that's the day when girls and boys come out and the hikatas and stuff like that, and go to Shibuya and stuff like that.
I have no idea.
It sucks
I
to
don't
be an
know.
American.
Yeah, I
right?
don't know. I've never heard of such thing. But anyway, so tell me, for a second. So since you're watching Game of Thrones and painting, what are you painting? Are you painting dragons and shit all of a
No,
sudden?
no. I'm painting like.
Oh wait, you're only on episode 3. Are you painting kings and? Like,
I'm just like painting like brothers having sex with their sisters.
Oh, you're at that part already?
Well, that's like from episode 1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, like because like the queen,
humans are savage.
Yeah, queen is like boning her brother, right?
Well, they're just attracted to each other. They can't help it.
I mean, she is hot and he's a good-looking guy.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and they're slim pickings.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I mean, like you got to keep the bloodline pure, right?
It's very pure.
So and then like I got past the point where the little boy from the northern village gets pushed out the window.
Oh,
spoiler.
Oh.
And like and then also
remember that dude.
What's her name gets married to Aquaman.
Oh, remember her. And remember the dude that got pushed out the window.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Just
well, I mean,
that.
like they had an entire. He was like a passed out. It ended with him waking up. That's the last place I was at. Like
Awesome.
So
you're at a very good place.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm sure. Like look, I've seen everybody's goddamn Facebook posts from every time the season ends on that damn show, and how much people freak the fuck out over it. And I'm just So what about the art? Is the art getting any kind of boost from this excitement you're getting, or is the art just looks like Luke Chu art? No, it's just Luke Chu art.
Okay.
I mean, like I'm like I the show's very well produced. It definitely has.
Are we talking about the art show or the?
No. I'm talking about Guns of
Oh, you're
Thrones.
Okay, so
I'm sticking with Game of Thrones.
Okay, I was talking about the art the whole time.
No, my art for this show, because like I'm still dealing with September burnout, because remember I had a solo show in September, and if I had it my way, I wouldn't be doing anything until like the summer,
right?
But I totally forgot about this obligation, to do this show. In case you guys aren't familiar, Roto Fuji is owned by the Kerrs, Kirby and Whitney, who unfortunately we lost last year to cancer.
Rest in peace.
And I wasn't sure. I don't think anyone was sure like what was going to happen to Roto Fuji.
Right.
Fugi.
Yeah.
And so it slipped my mind. And it wasn't until October of last year that Kirby contacted me about the show, and I love Rotofugi. I love Chicago, and so I was like, okay, well I'll do it, but I just had no idea what I was going to do. So, but the thing is that like Rotofugi is not quite like some of the other galleries I show with, who can like move like huge, big, expensive work, So I kind of like decided to do some looser, some just black and white paintings on paper, so I can be able to keep the prices, down, more affordable, and just kind of have fun with it. And I could be able to belt more work out, within a limited amount of time. I think it's interesting so far.
You're one of the artists that you're conscious enough to know to like scale your work up, or I suppose I don't want to say down, but just to make it lower in price, I suppose, with a different audience, right?
Yeah.
So, but not a lot of artists do that, right? Some will just they just keep trucking, doing the exact same thing no matter where they're at, because that's what they do. But it seems like you totally know when to do that. I mean, is that because you're trying to build a fan base there that can eventually buy more pricier work, or or are you just doing it because you just kind of know exactly who's there and this is what they're going to get?
I kind of think it's a little bit rooted in my graphic design background.
Right.
In graphic design, I think the foundation of graphic design is problem solving. And
definitely.
So I look at the kind of criteria that comes along with doing a show in certain places, and I adjust, for those places in order to, and, so that, I don't feel like I'm underselling myself, and I'm not creating work that they can't move. I'm more interested in getting my work into the hands of collectors, than, just being like, I sell artwork for $20 million. You know, so like, you know, I mean, like, not that I ever sold any artwork for $20 million. I mean, it'd be amazing if I did. I'd be set for.
But the audience in Chicago, because I don't know much about Chicago's art audience, or if there's an art buying audience there. I'm completely unfamiliar with Chicago in that way.
There's amazing artwork in Chicago.
Amazing artwork, but I mean, what about the buyers, like people who buy art? You know,
I don't
like
think
we have a scene here in LA of people, and they do come and buy art, and they're maybe our age or even younger sometimes, right? They're still collectors.
Yeah, you had a little girl that just bought a painting from the Tarada show.
The Tarada show, yeah, 7 years old, and spent her own money. Like, and her parents actually. She came and picked up her work, by the way, today, and her parents actually. I just said, you know, that was the most. I just said to them, I was really touched by that, and then the parents just made sure. They even told me today, you know, she really saved up. Like, we didn't give her the money like 10 minutes earlier. They said no, she really did save up, and she did. You know, she wanted one of these.
That's
and it was $100.
Yeah,
and
we're talking 7-year-old. Like,
I mean, granted, I don't know how does a 7-year-old get $100. But I mean, you know, you get $10 here, $20 there. I mean, you're collecting it, but she got the piece of art. Like, she picked it up today.
Was it after Christmas?
Yeah, you're right. After Christmas.
Okay,
yeah,
so she, you know, she probably like got a little bit of little Christmas money, you know, which is or holiday money, you know.
She even came here to this show, like the current show that's up, and she looked through all the pieces, like kind of quickly, but she did look like she was like, you know, she. One of those things, she spent all of her money now.
Right.
But I mean, but she was looking to see what the heck was here. And her brother, who might be 10 years old, was actually looking at the price list and walking around and everything. And he was 10 years old, you know.
Dude.
So it's kind of amazing.
You know, that's funny because, like, okay,
so that's our audience here in LA, everybody. We got 7-year-olds who buy more, who spend more on art than your own city's worth of collectors.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, like, look, when I first moved
I'm just playing. But LA's weird like that.
I didn't think, I thought, like, LA and art was a contradiction.
It probably was at one time.
You know, in the late in the mid to late 90s.
Yes.
Like, I had no plans of moving to LA. My plan was to move to the Bay Area, and like, you know, because there was an art scene there, there's a graphic design scene there. Like, it's like, you know, San Francisco, people are like, you know, fucking on the streets, you know.
Did you say squirt? Oh no, you didn't say
people
squirt.
Are squirting on the streets, you know, like it's good stuff, you know. If you want to be polyamorous, you go to San Francisco,
right?
You know, but but I ended up in LA because my parents lived in LA, and I had a drug problem and all this other stuff.
And LA had a lot of good drugs.
No, I was able to stay sober the first couple of years because I had no idea how to, like, you know, score.
I thought LA would be really easy or something.
Oh, it is easy, but if you don't know how it works down here, then, you know, you're shit out of luck.
Right.
And, you know, and I got my art career started out here, but the thing is that, like, I never thought to myself, LA art. Like, it wasn't until I moved here.
It grew, though. It's growing.
Oh, my gosh. Well, like, I moved here in 2003, and was introduced to, like, you know, the Cannibal Flower art shows, and then there was all these other events and like warehouse parties and art parties, and then all these galleries like 1988, GR2, you know, I know, like just all these little galleries started popping up all over the place, you know, and you know, you actually survived all of that, which is amazing. Like, you know, I'm actually like
still
impressed
here.
that, like, you know, back when the giant robot empire like stretched from coast to coast, you know, and yeah, no, I mean, it did.
Right.
It did.
Yeah.
You know, you were showing artists in New York.
Oh yeah, I was.
You know, so in San Francisco space was so cute.
Oh, it was cute. Wasn't
you
it?
know,
That was such a good little spot.
Yeah, it was like right off of, you know, Haight.
Yeah.
And, like, you know,
that was cute.
I mean, had that little like
nice.
nook for art and stuff. Oh, I love that space, that place. You know, but, you know, and then you also had another Luke that was managing the place.
Yep.
You know, I'm still buddies with him. I see him.
Cool.
He's at Super 7 all the time.
Awesome.
You know, but like, you know, but then the recession happens.
Yeah.
But
harsh
anyways,
too, very hard. People, you know, the funniest part is people who come in here don't know what the recession was. Like, a lot of people don't know, right? They're too young. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you were in high school, that recession might not have affected you at all.
Right.
In high school, then all of a sudden here it is, like 8 years later after the recession, or whatever, 7, 8 years, 6 years, whatever. They're now grown up, and they've only seen you know, a bull market. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
How much time have we been on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel I just want to like make sure we don't overdo it.
Oh, we might be, but
like I just don't want to burn
burn you guys out.
Burn us out, and then but I want to finish up the talking about like what the kids of today are.
No,
like.
I'm just saying because I meet a lot who come in here, and I can mention recession and why the shops, because they go, oh, why do those shops close? And I'm like, the recession. They're like, oh, they're like, but.
It doesn't they don't quite realize
they don't know what it was.
The madness
they have no
and
idea.
The fear.
Because let's say a
pain.
kid who comes in here they're young, like in their 25-year-old kid.
Right.
Well, he was in high school, or she was in high school when that recession was happening, unless she had parents that were like...
Yeah, she was like 15, 13
But if the parents weren't like in some kind of business that affected them, they would have not known it at all. They don't feel a thing. Like if you're a doctor, I mean, everyone's going to get sick and fucked up and need a doctor.
Right.
Even a plumber. I don't give a fuck if there's a recession or not. If your toilet backs up, you need a plumber, right? There are certain businesses that don't get affected at all through a recession. I mean, if anything, you're fixing more shit because people don't want to buy new shit.
Right.
So I think that's kind of weird when I actually witness a lot of people who come in here and they have no idea. And I could see it in their face. Like, I see the recession and they're just like...
Blank stare.
They have no idea. Yeah. And it's odd because I'm like thinking, that can happen again sooner than we want.
Right.
And it's actually...
It could happen in the next 2 years.
It looked like the starting points might have been, the stock market kind of just did a weird fluctuation. Yeah. Harsh down. It's just weird. I'm starting to see some signs, but... nothing to be too paranoid about. I lived through one, and I don't know if the next one will be that bad. But it was harsh. Just so you guys know, whoever's listening, that recession was very harsh. So yeah, GR New York didn't make it. Silver Lake, GR San Francisco. I mean, nothing made it. The magazine didn't make it.
Yeah.
And GR 1 and 2 did.
So but the magazine didn't die because of the recession. The magazine died because of lack of distribution.
But the recession also started with. All the ads started drying up too, right? Advertising started going, distribution, yes, but advertising too. And then, at the same time, the rise of the internet blog and all that kind of crap happened at that moment, even more, right?
Right.
And everything was going to digital, even
like
Amazon.
Tower collapsed during the recession, right?
I think so, or maybe before, just early part of it, yeah.
There used to be a Tower Records, like walking distance from my fucking mom's
Tower
house.
Was badass.
And, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. So there was Tower, but then... What about, which one went first? Borders? Borders went, right?
Went, yeah.
Virgin Megastores went, right? That one's gone.
Yeah. So there's only one. No, there's one in OC.
But a lot of things disappeared. Tons of newsstands just went kaput, right? The newsstand.
There's always that one on Fairfax.
Yeah.
I like that, across from Cantor's.
There's just a few, but that's what I'm saying. Like there used to be a shit ton of these newsstands.
Yeah.
They're gone. So the recession just wiped out a lot of different things in different ways.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the rise of like the Amazons and blogs and shitty news outlets.
You're a Prime member.
Yeah, I'm a Prime member.
I'm a Prime member.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I take advantage of that shit all the time.
Yep. And then here's Amazon now opening up brick and mortar stores.
What? This is news to me.
They're opening stores. Amazon has.
Oh right, it's because they're like just like it says like offering like the top 10, like the top merch.
I don't know. Go to the one at the there's one in Century City Mall, and that's
It's been?
Yeah, and it's a really nice store. They have a lot of books, but not just books. They have gifts and things, and it's well curated, well designed. Not bad for what I would think would be a shitty thing. It's actually, I feel like, so in my opinion, that Amazon store, it's using science. Like they're using like behavioral patterns. I mean, they're using Amazon Alexa probably from tons of people in the demographics of the area. They're probably using all the Alexa commands to like put, here's what books we're going to put here, and then here's the gifts we're going to put right next to those books. Like it's all science because it feels really good, and I feel manipulated when I go.
But that's the thing, like the
really
reason why Amazon is like worth the damn is not the merchandise, but rather the statistics that they accumulate.
Analytics,
absolutely. That they get.
And I think they're using it to sell more shit at the brick and mortar store. And that's fucked up. But that's what I think is happening. So I don't like going in there because I feel like I'm being manipulated because I want to buy shit there, and I'm like, no, I don't want to give anything to them.
Interesting.
Because I'm already a Prime member. So
all right.
there.
Yes.
Yes.
Prime.
Prime.
All right. I think that we should.
Wait, I feel like we're just getting started.
I know, but we gotta well, I mean, I don't mind continuing recording. I could go for another hour easily, but I just don't want to I don't want to I feel like there's some things that we haven't quite settled yet.
Okay, well, we need a name.
Yes.
Let's go back to that still.
Yes.
The third time in this podcast, at least, that we need a name. What is
Yes.
What is it going to be called? Because this is like episode -1, right?
Yeah, this is 00.
Because we don't have a name yet.
The 00.
Yeah, and we don't even know how often we're going to record.
Right.
So we're doing a little bit.
So
everybody, we're doing a little bit of house cleaning here, or
Right.
housekeeping.
Okay, so
because we don't know how often we're going to record. We don't have a title.
Yeah, and we don't have I mean, I like the loose format. I like the idea of bringing guests in. I like the idea of. I think we should if not weekly, then bi-weekly.
Right.
I think that makes the most sense. I think we need to have a regular recording, thing.
Right.
And I don't mind coming, out weekly,
Right, but we might not even do it here. We could do it somewhere else too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, where we don't get karaoke overflow noise.
I know. No,
Yeah,
it's nice to hear people having a good time, to know that the world is still alive.
Right,
But
we could also one day make it where people can watch us live doing a podcast on Sawtell.
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Sure.
Have people come in and have a big old Q&A.
We'll do that one day.
So, but I know we both love robot. Like saying candy, but mountain.
Robot Bear Mountain?
No. Robo Bear Mountain. Robot.
I don't know.
Are
you the bear? You're the bear.
I am
right?
the bear.
You are the bear.
I am the bear.
I guess I'm the robot. I guess. I didn't
the
want to be the robot. But yeah. But you are the bear.
How about
Gummy Bear
we
Popsicle?
just call it RBG,
Gummy Bear Popsicle.
Gummy Bear.
RGB,
RGB or RBG. Robo Bear Giant. Or our robot giant bear.
Right.
RGB.
Well, we
GRB.
We do need your suggestions.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear some.
We could, we could call it GRB, and then we just change it according to whatever we want.
All right.
Like Great Rick Brains.
Giant robo balls.
Yes.
Yes. Giant robo balls.
Yes. So we could just call it
GRB.
GRB.
Right.
I think that's kind of
giant robot balls.
Yeah, it could be whatever we decided to be at that day.
Oh man. Okay, so
but the show will always be just GRB.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
GRB.
GRB.
Right.
So
So it's like GBH, the punk band.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. What did that mean?
I have no idea.
I heard it was great bodily harm, and then I always heard bullshit like that. I just don't know what it really was. So maybe in a way it works.
It could be great robot booty.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Just hard as a rock.
Yeah. Just or it's just soft and supple because
Right.
it's like silicone.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's GRB, but I like to hear.
Yeah.
What does that acronym mean?
Yeah. What does
Let's
it
hear
mean
it.
to you?
Let's
Yeah.
hear it. Let's hear it, everybody.
Yep.
If you're listening,
Please.
alrighty.
We will be posting. And
Oh, and we'll post this up soon. Well, shit. I guess that's how it's going to work.
yeah.
You're going to be listening to it after it's posted. So dumb.
So we'll look out in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
I told people. Remember, I also told people to PM me
Awesome.
some name titles, but
Okay.
we'll go with the working title GRB.
GRB. Do we have a gang sign for GRB?
I don't know.
Okay. No, that's too difficult.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I'm holding my mic. So
Okay, so shoot. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
And we got to come up. We have another thing we have to work out is we have to we'll come up with a call sign.
Okay.
Yep, we'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
Sure.
Awesome.
Right. See you guys.
All right. Bye. Damn.
How long was it?
Thank you, whoever's watching. There was somebody watching.